when you speak to Vietnamese Buddhists, they will tell you that almost 75% of the population is Buddhist. When you ask communist authorities, they will tell you that it's about 10 or 15%. What we know that the Buddhism is it's one of the matrix of the Vietnamese nation. Traditionally, communists don't like religion. The Communist Party is very afraid of every movement who have the support of the population. And in Vietnam, for a long, long time, the main movement was the Buddhist. The Buddhists were great networks of schools, hospitals. They were very supported by the population. The Vietnamese Buddhism is quite special because it's a form of engaged Buddhism. And whenever there is oppression in Vietnam, the Buddhists fight. In 1963, anti-Buddhist police provoked immolation of monks, and it provoked the fall of the regime. What is interesting is that when there is no more oppression in the country, so the Buddhists return in the pagoda. And they don't want the power, in fact. It's just a question of fighting for the social justice and against oppression. In Vietnam, there is a very different form of persecution. Sometimes they put a lot of people in prison, they have a big trial against the religious people. After the war, in 1975, the communist regime tried to totally destroy the UBCV, and they failed, in fact. It was very brutal, and there was some assassination of monks, and a lot of monks were put in prison. There was 12 monks and nuns who immolate themselves just to protest against the persecution. We discovered that the authorities, the police have published a manual to teach the policemen how to repress religion. And there is a secret document of 600 pages. They really want to discredit the monks. They tell the policemen to study Buddhism and Buddhists, to know how they behave and what they do, how they do it, so they can infiltrate the pagoda. When they are inside, they can do everything they need to discredit the Buddhists. They behave like thugs. They drink alcohol, they eat meat, sometimes they have wives. The authority have a new policy, and they just authorize freedom of the worship, but not freedom of religion. It means that if you want to go to the pagoda to pray, you want to succeed to your exam, you can to pray the Buddha, and it's okay. But if you want to learn the real essence of Buddhism, you don't have the right, because teaching Buddhism is not compatible with communism or something like that. When you are a tourist and you go to Vietnam and say, well, pagodas are full of people, churches are full of people, well, there is freedom of religion. But in fact, it's not right. I'm very afraid because in the Vietnamese Buddhism, you really have very good things like compassion, struggle against oppression, for social justice. If people lose these values, at the end, it's the Vietnamese people who will lose their soul, in fact. Buddhists put in the Vietnamese culture the notion of human rights. I was born in France and I live in France. And in France, people usually don't like religion. And I say, well, okay, human rights is okay, but religion, no, I don't like. I worked with Buddhists. And little by little, I've learned what is Buddhism and who are the Buddhists. It was not only Buddhist, in fact. I worked a lot with Christian or Catholic, and they believe in something. Sometimes I disagree in what they believe, But the result of the belief is they want to do the good for the others. They want to fight against oppression and injustice.